What's up guys, Dudebro here, and we're going to be watching a online match between me versus Sophia, more like a set, and I just want to go over adapting to matchups that you don't usually know what to do. I did a video about something like this similar to Valdo, but that was more like understanding the mistakes that you were doing. This one is more like adapting to your opponent's habits and kind of generally making a game plan around that. So at the start, Sophia is capable with mix-ups, and I'm generally, at this point in the game, I'm autopiloted, which is something you should never do. You should always never autopilot. She's throwing me off everywhere. I don't even know what to do. Yeah, she completely decimated me in that round. So, the first two games, I'm gonna get pretty body, pretty heavy. As you can see, I carelessly got inside of her range. Didn't even decide to take advantage of the fact of her short range and my long range. So, we got the launch. Got the mix up. Here we go. What we're gonna do? Go for a grab. Alright, so I'm gonna be eating a lot of damage. Now that move right there is safe. Doing it regularly in the charge version is safe. And I won this round. Okay. And I have a bad habit, which you'll see later in the match, that I'm trying to punish them by doing like Rising K, which is Sacred's 12 frame. And eventually, I come to the conclusion that I should stop doing that and more guess what the opponent is going to do. Hit the soldier, bam. See, there's me doing it again. I also wanted to use 4A a lot, but every time I had the situation of wanting to do it, it always got high crushed. So you're gonna see a lot of moments when we attempted to do that. Do that. Challenging her of that. Getting in that space. She doesn't break the ground, so I regain my momentum. So right now, I'm beginning to think of a game plan, try to space all my options, do a lot of blows. This person doesn't seem to break grabs, and you will see in later matches of this, and so do I never broke a specific grab, and it's kind of frustrating watching this again, but so from here, I'm used to me doing a lot of down, what do we call it, 1A. There's me doing that again. And I'm releasing sexual energy. So I took game one. Now I'm gonna move on to the next one. So game one is, it's pretty of a big mess. A little sloppy. It was still a little bit of autopiloting. Like as you saw, I'm still doing Wall Rising 2 after she does, I believe that would be 1K. Charge or uncharge, and it's safe. She'd be able to sidestep off of that whenever she wants to, but she can't like throw a button off of that. And eventually I had to realize that I believe in this game or the next game I started taking advantage of that idea. But generally, I start beginning to make a game plan around this. So right there, I start more implementing back 1As, but I don't typically finish the string. I'm just poking her, trying to get a reaction off of her. And the reason is I'm trying to take advantage and use a mix-up from the range she can't hit me. I can mix up with doing a block that. Nothing to do with that one. Do the mix up. There I am. See what she did right there? So that time I didn't do anything. That time I decided not to press anything. Because that was just me trying to see if she was going to press a button or sidestep, and she didn't. So, but going back to what I was saying, you're going to see me doing about a lot of 1As, and the main reason is because I can start my pressure and my mix-up with a bunch of 1As. So I can do a bunch of stagger 1As, and if I think that she's going to duck, I can use 4B, which is just as far and long as his 1A, but as a medium attack. So I can use as a far range poke. A lot safer than doing, like, for instance, 6A, or not 6A, but 6B. And in this game, I get pretty crushed.
Forgive me.
Battle 3, fight!
Hard knockdown. So that was foolish of me even doing. You should never do that move up close like that. Even if you're just thinking, well, you get the mix up, it's not worth it. They can challenge you if they have like a 12 frame anything. You get that. So 3B to me is not 3B. I always get these wrong. 4B to me is an amazing move when you get close because you get the side switch, and you can also get mix off of that. Just hear me doing that. If she rolls, I can do 1A, and if she decides to just regular get up, I can do 4B or whatever. I can just keep applying my pressure because she's outside of my range, and there's no reason for her to contest what I'm doing. She can just counter hit confirm. So right there was actually an accident. I actually did not want to do it a second time, but you know, they take those, so it's whatever. But here she goes, applying more pressure. I'm not so scared of her lows, but I need to be more vigilant on blocking certain strings because on hit she's so plus that she can continue with her pressure. And then she wasn't looking for that, and I got this win right here. So basically, you know, on the third game, I began to start structuring, you know, a game plan. I'm like, all right, well, if she starts doing like strings that she wants that I know I can challenge, I can do like B3, which is like safe freeze poke. And on counter hit, it leads me to stun, and I can get like I can like
blood, flesh, and souls.
Ooh, hiccup. 6/6 A + B, or whatever. So I started implementing. All right, I'm gonna do a bunch of 1As to mix her up with 4B. Here I am doing it again, bam, and then that happens. I'm also taking notes that I can't overextend, because she's not going to sit there and just let me mix up. She's going to press a button. And I hope you guys like getting annoyed, because I'm never breaking that grab. I was getting equally as upset. And that's something that, that's like a thing that happens to a lot of players, is sometimes you overextend something you shouldn't have done, and you'll just end up dying. So that's something I was beginning to learn in this match, that I shouldn't overextend on certain strings because this person is not afraid to press a button. So right there, there's me doing it one more time. That was me just taking a risk of doing that. And I also wanted to finish it up because I was assuming she was going to roll, but she didn't, so I got that win. So right here, I have a genuine idea that I was just gonna space her out, throw one of those out to B+, take control of the range and the stage. I'm letting her know, within this range, I'm taking control and mixing you up. And I'm not pressing buttons. As you see right there, I decided to not even press anything. Now, I will say that whenever she's getting the aggression, I have to be careful and just block correctly, because once she gets hit, she's plus, and she can just keep bullying me. Like right here. Oh, I didn't use the correct punish. She gets the knockdown. See, that was an awkward moment right there. Now that one, it was confusing for me to realize what happened, but when she did the other string, it put me in a weird like position where I woke up and I pressed a button while waking up, so I was backwards and she got the crush count. Or lethal hit. Bam. And I follow with that. And I love 4B so much. So she didn't block that, and I ended up robbing her of the win. I love 4B a lot, all because of the fact that it spaces her and me to a point where she can't justify throwing a button, in my opinion. Now I'm sure that you can challenge it, like you might do wake up soul charge or wake up something crazy, but a reasonable seasoned player, in my opinion, shouldn't be pressing anything in that situation. So I'm just applying pressure over that neutral distance over that. Alright, so I believe this is the 4th game. I believe I lost this game. We did 8 games in general. But here we are, game 4. I think I lost this one. But even the cool thing about, you know, this is I feel that whenever you're playing someone that you feel that is just around the same playing field, you can then begin to create strategies on how to deal with that person's playstyle. But it also, because of the fact that they're playing that character, you can also begin to see what genuinely you could do via that character. Now, if it's someone that's like a lot weaker, then you just steamroll, you turn your brain off. Everyone does it. You turn your brain off, and you just steamroll them, and you don't really learn anything from that. And they're too good, you're mainly focusing how to keep up with their pace. So you almost don't even learn anything equally because you're more tense and stressed out over what to do against this foe. But if it's an equal playing field, you could then play at your pace and at their pace at the same time and kind of generally figure out what you want to do versus them and kind of learn a few things as well.
Battle 2. Fight.
See right there. So normally, in my very old videos of me playing Soul Calibur, I think there was a Sophia player, I forget her name, she's a YouTuber. When I played against her a long time ago, I always did Rising B or Rising K against her, and she punished me. She'd always sidestep and do some wild stuff. But via this player, I finally learned, I'm like, alright, let me not do that. Let me see what she's gonna do, because it puts me in crouching, and I shouldn't do anything. I should see what she's gonna do, and then try to apply pressure from there. So as you see in this game, I got, you know, ass blasted 3,000, but that's okay. That's alright. Moving on to game 5. With this set with this individual. So around here, I begin to pretty much get an idea how to deal with her. I also learned that certain things doesn't work. Like I tested doing
Blood, flesh, and souls are offered to the gods of
B3, 3B. Yeah, I started doing 3B and seeing, that was like my way of seeing if she's gonna press a button or do something. Mind you, I caught on to it a lot later than I should have. And you'll see eventually that I'll do like 3B, 3B. Just to see what her reaction, she'll always do like a button or something. Because it'll beat it. Now, watching this, also made me realize that I had to be better with spacing, because as of now, with all this pressure, she's all me, and I have to be better at spacing myself and not letting her get inside. And then we get the kill. So right there is a good example what not to do. I literally she ran up to me, and I did nothing. I also ran up into her. That was bad. What I should have done was do like AA or BB to keep her spaced away from me and maintain my neutral space. But instead, my big dummy head decided to just go in as well. So I break the grab, finally. This is me trying to counter poke, but she got more of that and I died.
Battle 3, fight!
Got the wrong punish, but we got the hit anyways. Got the mix up. See right there? I should have spaced myself away from her, but I'm directly in front of her. Now that, I thought I was gonna land in front of her and do the grab mix up, but I ended up crossing over. And bam. So I started using that move much more often to counter play. And there I am doing it again. So I started also implementing 3A. 3A is amazing because if you, in your block string, so let us say if I did like AA, and I'm assuming that my opponent is going to try to sidestep or something, you can do 3A, and it knocks down on normal hit, and you can just follow it with whatever. And that's something I should start doing more often when moves are extremely sidesteppable or predictable that you're going to do a vertical attack. So you should start doing like 3A, or for any character that has a move that catches opponents sidestepping. Alright, game 6. Game 6. So at this point, I believe I generally had like a strong game plan. I'm like, this person likes to press buttons. They like to get in hyper aggressive. And I also have like a genuine idea of moves I should punish and moves I should leave alone when not to press buttons. Mind you, I still make a few mistakes here and there, but I generally have like a game set and a game plan against this person. Like right there was the first mistake, was doing the wrong punish. That's unsafe on block, and I should have did like wall rising K. And in this situation, I was trying my best to get out of her pressure, maybe do my counter poke, do a 2K, maybe trying to do a what do you call it, guard impact, but none of it happened. So, mistake right there. Now, as mentioned before in older videos, she fell down on guard impact, and I decided to do my guard break instead of getting the correct launcher. So that was damage and pressure missed right there. There she got pressure me the life out of me. Trying to get out of the situation, stay away from the well. Still not the correct punish, but it's something better than nothing. And I dropped the combo. Here she goes. And then dead. See, right there is when I was talking about earlier is overextending. So like that move has a lot of startup. It also makes me move forward as well. So it extends my hurt box. So I should have been doing that at least 2 times, maybe 1 time, and then doing 4B in case she tries to press a button or whatever. That was the wrong button. There she goes, high crushing my moves again. Does that. Crushing the life out of me. Alright. So there was 1 mistake right there. I didn't mean to do super. I actually wanted to do soul charge. And the first time I did it, I was trying to do what do you call it? I forget. Like your, I'm gonna call it your soul attack. It's when you do quarter circle forward and you press the R2 or whatever button you play that initiates it and puts you automatically in soul charge. I was trying to do that, but she interrupted it, and then I tried to go to soul charge, and I ended up doing super. But regardless, she took the win. There's another thing that that's pretty cool about watching your own videos is that, which everyone tells you to do this, right? It's something so simple, and yet no one does it unless you're a seasoned player or you like labbing or whatever. And so let's say this is a setup that she did. You could record that on your phone via replay and it emulate that in training mode and figure out how to deal with that. So even theoretically, if the player you're playing against who plays Sophia doesn't do it, you at least know how to deal with a situation like that or something similar to that where it won't happen that bad again. Especially when you start calculating frame data too. So right there is what I was talking about earlier when I was doing a bunch of B3. That was me trying to see if she was going to press a button. And I realized, alright, this person is not going to respect me at all. She's going to press a button. So I have to do something about it. I got to start mixing that up. And again, me never breaking that grab. There we go. So another thing, this is like a safety thing, but you should be extremely careful of doing your 3B up close. So a lot of people will do 3B right in front of their face, by the way, and then they're trying to like mix up after that where it can easily be counter hit. So you should always do like tip range, like right there. She should have like did like 2A or something, or maybe quarter circle 4B, but she didn't. She let me get away with that. And you should never let any safe free player get away with that. And then boom. Now I almost rarely use BGB, but I was under the assumption that I did BGB and then follow it with 3B, that it would counter hit or stuff if you were trying to press a button after that, which I mean it did, but I'm assuming that it was because of the fact that the startup was really long or distance or whatever, but it worked. Now I'm not gonna say it would work in a lot of situations, but in that one it did. Ah, heartbreaker. Now, when that happened, I immediately realized I was assuming that she would have done that. And what went through my mind was, I decided, as you saw, I did the B option, not the B, the K option, which ended up trading and we died. But another thing that I was going to think of doing was going into side hold or whatever it's called and like switch sides. And with the buff that happened ages ago, if she would have did that, I know that it will either would have parried or whiffed, and then I could have followed with B, but I didn't, and I died for her. All right, guys, we're at the last game, game 8. Now, for those who made it to the end of this, thank you. But genuinely, this video is supposed to first, keep my channel alive, as I don't have any idea what content I want to make, and 2, to emphasize the idea that whenever you're in a match, especially if you know or don't know the character, like let's say that you don't know the matchup, you could at least, with someone in equal playing fields, kind of genuinely get an idea of what to do if you don't autopilot. Like, I personally don't know the matchup of Sophia versus Savior. I know just very little. But what I do know is that basic stuff. Like, alright, she has no range compared to me. So I know I could space her out. And with moves that is killing you, you could try in the middle of the match, attempt to see how they will react and what you can or cannot do. Because if you're on an equal playing field, then you can experiment on winning and seeing what tools work. And like I said earlier, if the guy sucks, you're not thinking, you're just gonna thrash the dude, tell him GG's, and you're gonna schmoob out of there. And if they're too good, you're so fixated on trying to keep up with the pace that even if like something that was seen unsafe, you're more thinking like, oh man, what if he does this big brain thing where it's so meta that I can't even keep up. It's like that. But that's why I was looking at, like, genuinely in a match, you learn from things, even if you don't know anything about it. And right there, she caught me with the mix-up. Like in some instances, I noticed that there be better off not. There can't be a mix-up if I don't recover, if that makes sense. So like, how she did the running kick, right? There isn't gonna be a mix-up if I don't recover. And if you know that's gonna happen, you can just punish. Pressure, didn't press the button. That was a missed input right there. And dead. Alright guys, that is the end. We made it to the end. If you like what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe. Dislike if you didn't like it. Tell me, blow up my comments, whatever. I will be back with more content in the near future. Stay safe.